see BCQD versus Goody live, check out TaKeTV stream. But we're gonna hop into Cactus Valley. If you missed this earlier, it's 2-1 in the favor of Dimaga versus Patience, and we'll see you in a sec. Alright, welcome back to, this is still the Legacy of the Ultras, but we're going back now in time to week 1. This is a replay, for those who missed the announcement. We were casting the start of this series when we began today, but then, of course, the live matches came on, and we had to put this on hold. But we want to wrap up this series for you guys best we can. I don't know if it ends here, or if it goes a little bit further. Zombie Grub has all the replays to keep me from spoiling it on accident. But in the bottom right corner of the map, he's down at the moment. It's on his last life. It's going to be the Blue Protoss player from Dead Pixels, Patience.
In never right. As the Red Zerg, it's Dimaga.
So I was trying to remember what was going on, but I remember Dimaga had those really cool run-bys with the Corruptors. He was picking off the Nexus. He was actually being the Legacy of the Void Zerg we were hoping he would be. Whereas Patience was, you know, I remember like Game 1 Sentries. Not doing anything too special, not doing anything too crazy.
I really can't remember the games that well. I just know that he's been going for a lot of mutas, right? And Patience has just been, I think the second game that he won.
Yeah, the Muta Corruptor Wars.
The one game that he won, that is. He just had better response, like a faster response to the mutas, I think, and that's kind of what started the ball rolling. Oh, that's right, and Dimaga like suicided his mutas in. It was more Dimaga's mistake than Patience playing.
Yep.
And you better. Yeah, that's right. So I mean, with that in mind, I would say that Dimaga does take it here in and out the series, but I'm the only one that knows, so not gonna spoil.
Okay. Patience opening with a Zealot. It's weird, I guess.
Well, just in case, I guess.
Adepts really just took over this role in such a big way, but yeah, just in case is always nice. You don't know if Dimaga's gonna hit you with a big Ling all in or not. I mean, Patience only just scouts, sees the third hatch, and does he cancel this out? No, he still lets it complete. For this extent, he might walk this across the map then and poke a queen.
Yeah, it's something you can do in Heart of the Swarm. I don't think it's not necessarily bad, but.
Well, I actually like it because if you pair it up with an Oracle afterwards, I mean, the Oracle can kill a queen already, but if it's a 2 seconds to kill the queen and kill all the drones, it's totally worth it. Ooh, lose a probe.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. There's going to be a Stargate coming up here. Zealot stops the Ling from seeing it. He saw that something was building, but I don't know if he had enough time to click on it.
Well, for Patience's sake, I don't know. Like, it's going to be really hard to bring a game back from somebody like Dimaga, or Sirius back. Heart of the Swarm, Patience wins this matchup 100% of the time, right? Legacy of the Void, not quite the case. New tools, new abilities, new mechanics. It's really cool to see the way the game's changed up.
Okay. I guess that wasn't actually a wall.
He's just like, you know what? This is misaligned. My ADD's kicking in. I need to fix that.
Cactus Valley does have a really weird wall, though. Yeah. It just doesn't look what it actually is, kind of deal. But, anyways, the Oracle's coming in. The Zealot never really got any swipes on the Queen, right? So it's not the 1-2 punch that you would hope. So probably gonna get a couple of drone kills, then get out. But we have 6 gateways on the way. That's a lot of gateways.
Okay,
that's
so
just a gateway all in.
Yeah. Plain and simple. That there, it's a gateway all in.
Any contra hit could tell layout.
Okay, so a gateway all in. I mean, with what is possibly adepts, maybe just goes old school centuries. I mean, it's still a scary build to have to deal with. Like, that much has not changed. But again, like, if you had faster burrows, suddenly sentries are not an issue. If you have faster roaches, adepts aren't so snowbally. But with what Dimaga's got currently, I don't know how this is gonna go. Is it Spore Crawler's anticipating air? But really, it's a big gateway all in, and oh man, is there no Overlord in position to scout this? There's not.
No. See, gateway all-ins have really just died down in Legacy of the Void. I mean, Protoss in general, you know, I've only recently been playing in, like, or getting far in the tournament, so it makes sense that he just wouldn't be thinking about this. He's not going to be the same mistake again after he gets 7-gated, whether or not he wins, but for now, he's just thinking, I get to do my own thing, and it's up to the Protoss to react to me, because I'm in control. Well, he saw a pylon, but only just now gets a couple of roaches.
I don't know, man. This is I feel like it's too late, almost. You know,
Yeah.
like the
I
adepts
think
are gonna
so,
kill
too.
the drones so fast. The second the roaches disappear, this mineral line dies.
Why did that mothership core just stay there?
Okay, that was pretty bad. Oracle's still standing, gonna get some damage on the roaches. Not bonus damage, but still good damage nonetheless. The Psionic Transfer trying to keep some of these adepts alive. I'm not sure what Patience is doing. He's kind of wasting, I think, a lot of like the shots on things like the hatchery. I mean, is it just in A-move mode right now? What's going on?
I don't know, but I feel like going for adepts might have been the wrong choice. He's moving in some sentries. He's losing them on the backside.
I mean, he did kill a fairly large amount of drones, but he's still behind as far as workers go. I think if he took the rest of this fight and either dedicates to killing all the roaches right now, not splitting his DPS, or he segments some of the depths of the main and some to the third with Psionic Transfer, then he just kills a lot of drones. But right now, this is kind of awkward, because he was... Like, look at that hatchery. That's 400 damage that went into the hatchery. That should have just been going anywhere else. Because he had, like, adepts auto-attacking while he's busy chasing the queen down with zealots.
Yeah, that was a big blunder. I do not like how Patience played that one out. And now it is up to him to just recover from it. He had a decent amount of gas, you know, for all those adepts, so he just has to plan on the 4th, but that's still... It failed, you know, and you've already extended the time that you're running out of minerals in the main base. Your third's gonna be even later. They're gonna have a contain on you. Oh, it's not looking so hot for Patience.
Oh, Ravager's kind of interesting. Not very good, but they will break force fields. They really need to rework this model, too. I'm gonna be so pissed if that's the live model.
Yeah, it's kind of ugly. Kool-Aid Man!
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
It's like worse because he's red.
Now, Ravagers do go down quite fast. Their health is not something that's too impressive. They try. They could break that force field.
See, I wouldn't mind if they actually buff the health, since they toned down the damage so severely.
Well, I feel like that's what it looks like that should be the case anyways, right? That it's a big hulking unit that should attack slow and have a lot of health.
Yeah. Instead, it's bigger than a roach, but worse than a roach.
Yeah, it's sense right now. You get the Ravagers to get the force fields, didn't even break any force fields in that fight, and now he might have just like made the worst mistake of his life. Like he may have just like given away his entire army, and maybe this transfer into mutas isn't going to quite work out.
Well, I mean, at the moment, the only anti-air is like these sentries and like one stalker.
That's such a like thing though,
no,
right?
Here we go. There's a lot more coming.
Right, yeah, like you're on like so many gateways that all it takes is one round, and suddenly it's no big deal to take on 8 mutas.
I love that this has started lagging for no reason. Why am I getting 12 network spikes on a friggin' replay?
Well, I'm not, so
Cool.
I'm in control now.
Well, enjoy the stutter stream. Zombie Grub hates you. Like, what the... Like, I would understand, like, okay, you're playing 2 European players, it's a little bit laggy, but please, Blizzard, guys, I'm sorry, this looks terrible, and I can't do anything about it, but the attack and the rampage begins. Patience gonna try and tear down this hatchery. I mean, it's low from earlier, I guess, because he wasted damage into it, but that army supply, it's dead even, but I think far more effective for Patience. In fact, the force fields is locking out a good third of the army. We do have the Ravagers breaking those force fields, of course, but I don't know, man. The mutas aren't exactly being too effective. The sentries are killing them, for goodness sake.
Looks like Patience has gained back a game that he maybe should have won in the first place. Maybe. Dimaga with that attack, the blunder with the Ravagers. He's going to lose. And it looks like we're going to go into the ace match. He's running out of production. He's...
Well, the thing is, too, like, I mean,
drones.
Patience could actually just back up for a second, get a couple more probes. I mean, he's in such a good spot back at home compared to that of Dimaga. He doesn't really have to keep forcing the issue and bleeding out 1 or 2 units like this, but I mean, either way, you're right. Like, I think this is starting to go, like, it's not quite got the army supply lead, but, you know, there's roaches here with, like, 1 health, lings with, like, no health. Hatchery's bound to go down in any random shot soon. Dimaga actually attacks his own hatchery. I don't know if that was on purpose to trigger the broodlings or a big misclick, but I don't know. It's kind of desperate times call for desperate measures, what it feels like, and desperate is not a place you want to be. And it looks like you might be right. At this rate, Patience is looking pretty darn good to take this 2-2, but still not over just yet. Dimaga going to fight tooth and nail. Third base is still mining pretty heavily, so I can't blame him for not tapping out, but I don't know how he stops these stalkers.
He doesn't. Stalkers, I think, were something that was missing from the last attack. Nothing but adepts wasn't really going to work out versus nothing but roaches. But the ones that he got with the attack in the beginning, they kind of did their job, and just like they were buffer, right? When that first attack had like the force fields, like a couple of them were taking a lot of shots. That, I think, is a better use of the adepts in an all-in like this.
Just wanna throw out there, no drop frames, by the way, guys. This is entirely just a StarCraft 2 problem.
Sometimes when you say it, I feel like you're doing like a magic trick, you know? You're like,
look over here,
behold, no strings.
So they have a drop frame in their pocket I could borrow. Alright, GG. Game gonna go to Patience. That officially does tie it up now 2-2, and it'll send us to the ace match. So game number 5 between Dimaga and Patience. Hype. I didn't really see that go. Like after the first failed attack, I didn't really think that was gonna lock it down the way it did. But yeah, this will be the last thing we cast. Then I gotta go get ready for the dentist. Well, more like get to the bus stop so I can go to the dentist. But we're gonna play a small break while we get this lobby up. Stick around, guys, and we'll see you in a sec with game number 5, Dimaga versus Patience. Try and invite me again, if you
I
can. Why not? Hey guys, we're back. So we had some issues with that game number 5 replay during the break. We're gonna try it again. Lag was wicked bad. As you guys saw, there's some stutter towards the end of it. So I restarted my client. I'm hoping it's all fixed now. And again, we don't typically try to do things through replays, but if we miss good matches, we're going to do our best to cast them for you guys. I know a lot of folks want English coverage of the Legacy of the Ultras event, so we'll do the best we can. But Orbital Shipyard, going to be the final showdown. Game number 5. If you've missed everything up to this point, it is tied up now 2-2. So let me just get the sounds and everything set. It looks smooth so far. I'm getting a couple of network spikes. Hopefully this won't be too bad. I have no idea how long this game is, because again, I'm not looking at the spoilerinos here. But if it does lag, hopefully it won't be too long, because I have no control over it at that point. But getting into the intro, spotting in the top right side of Orbital Shipyard in the ace match of their Lotus event tournament match. Oh, that's bad. It's going to be the Red Zerg player, Dimaga.
In the bottom left as the blue Protoss, it's Patience.
What the fuck? Why am I getting, like, it's borderline getting DDoS at this point. 25 network spikes. Stop. Pause. P. Or, I'm just leaving. Fuck it. We have to remake it. This is so dumb.
Okay.
This is so unbelievably horrible, bad, dumb. Okay, you know what? Here, we know what the last one is. I'm gonna try hosting and see if it works any better, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, guys. The frustration is in the fact that, this has been happening to me in Zombie rather frequently on the Battle.net, and I'm less impressed by it every time it happens. Lotus. And before it's like the actual replay's broken. Well, you're not seeing the lag, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. So it's just my end. Patience Dimaga 5. Copied. Alright, let's hope this one works. Deep breaths. like salty now. I shouldn't even be. Like, it's a small hiccup. Nope. So far so bad. Hang on. It's climbing. Like, for those who don't know, this number should never say 1. This number should never, ever, ever say 2. Oh, hello?
Hi.
It says you're lagging out of the replay. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I'm not.
It gave me the drop screen for you.
I don't know.
All right, we really want to do this fucking replay, guys, and I want to do it before I have to leave for the dentist, but let's try one more time.
Oh, okay.
You try hosting, I guess. If it's a situation, like, if you guys don't understand, like, it's gonna be, like, if you have 3 network spikes, 5 network spikes, it's a little bit laggy, like we saw earlier, right? But on 20 plus, you're gonna get like 1 FPS on the stream. So, it's not a bandwidth problem, as I see some people in chat trying to point out. I'd be dropping frames on XSplit and I'd be lagging a zombie grub and vice versa if it was a bandwidth problem. It's not a bandwidth problem. Sadly, it's a Legacy of the Void beta, emphasis on beta, server problem. My next solution before we say fuck it would be to each load it up individually solo at the same time.
Oh my god.
Do you remember those old days of replays? You'd have to do the countdown, like 3, 2, 1. Like, we might fucking have to do that.
It would get desynced no matter how careful you were, though.
Yeah, I think we might have to do that, though. It's just, this number's racking up.
Right.
Yeah, let's try solo. This is probably our best bet. If this doesn't work, guys, then I'm sorry. It's just I'm a little bit stressed because I gotta get to the dentist soon. So, hop into the game and hit pause, I guess, on 5 seconds. We'll do the stupid fucking countdown, old school style. Because yeah, it's not lagging for me at all when it's solo. So this might be the way to do it. This is the worst. All right, you have it paused at 5 seconds exactly?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to give this another shot, and hopefully we can actually do this, but things are probably going to get a little bit desynced, as that was always a big problem back in the day. I haven't had to do this in like a year and a half, but let's try to make it work. So on the number 3. All right, so I'm not going to say like 3 go, like on the number 3. So 1, 2, 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for hopefully what is going to be a smooth game number 5. We've had some issues getting this up and going, but spawning in the top right corner of the map, it's going to be the red Zerg player. He's tied up the series 2-2. They're both in the ace match. This guy, though, is Dimaga.
In the bottom left, as the blue Protoss, it's Patience.
Dead Pixels hype. Did you see their new hat they got?
I have not.
Their team manager tweeted a picture of it. It actually looks pretty cool.
Oh,
although,
so it's not D-Pix.
No, it's not D-Pix, but man, I feel like I want to say it's trolling, right? But I spoke with their team manager, and in no way that I could possibly mean to be offensive, his English is not very good. So I can't imagine that he's got the inside joke on what that means, or that he did it on purpose. Like, I can't, like, neither of those scenarios would make sense to me at all. But so far so good on the lag, guys. So we'll double thumbs up this and keep this in our back pocket for if we need in the future. I don't want to peek and see how long the game's going to be, but hopefully it's not going to be something where it's 40 minutes long and we get desynced 7 times throughout. But yeah, PvZ has proven to be a little bit interesting. Not quite the same old that it used to be. I'm not sure if I'm just really happy because it's new units. Seeing things like the Adepts is always cool. Or it's the fact that we are seeing players forced out of their comfort zones. And I love that too. That's really entertaining for me. Seeing them forced out of their comfort zones and forced to use different units, different strategies.
Mm-hmm. That's always the fun part about beta. No one really knows what they're doing. They'll do pretty pale imitations of stuff that they already know. But it could be a lot better if they just use the new units correctly. For the most part. There's gonna be imbalances, and just it's gonna find it impossible to do X or Y, no matter how good you are. But they'll try. Parting is probably the only guy that really used disruptors well, more than just once. He did it twice. Have you all know? He got 2 good disruptor shots.
Excuse you?
So, I would love to see that again in PvC. No. But disruptor's just so freaking hard to use, and you're already like, you know, blinking and force fielding and guardian shielding, and then you also have to drop it out of a warp prism and press V and make sure that it hits them. Like, I don't know what they could do to make it not OP, but still less micro. I mean, even reducing the gas costs would help a little bit, but it's really hard to make it work versus any race.
Yeah, I actually, we always have to bring this up, right? Like it's like obligatory that we mention carriers at least once in a series. Anytime Protoss is involved, I would love to see Patience do something kind of crazy like that because of the fact that we've had these air wars, and you know, if you're going for Phoenix, you're going for the fleet beacon, you're like 90% of the way there. Just like bring her home with a freaking carrier.
Yeah. Carriers are really good. It's not really like well, they can't get there because they don't have any money. It's legit. Carriers are still expensive, but if you get 2 or 3, they're pretty darn good. And
I think one of the greater things about it too is like, and this has really not been praised by many, they increased the build time, or sorry, lowered the build time on it. You get carriers out faster. So it's not only like, it used to be, okay, I got this really expensive unit and it's gonna take a million years to build. Maybe I get one out in time for the fight. No, you'll probably have 2 or 3, honestly. You can support at least 2 Stargate production off of 2 bases. 3 is obviously best, and on a map like Orbital Shipyard, potential, but again, unlikely because everything that has conditioned Protoss players over 4 years of StarCraft has been, don't use carriers.
Yeah. Genius tried versus Dongray Gu in that final, and he failed. Because it was scouted, basically. Like, if you could get away without being scouted, then you go ahead and do it. But if you are scouted, then you're kind of screwed. But it's so much better. In Legacy of the Void, you can harass with it, you can just leave, and the interceptors be like, later, sucker, and you leave. So much fun. But it's going to be looking like the same. It's not quite the same, actually. There's no gas. There's no gas at the natural, and it's only with 1, 2, 3, 5. No, it's still 7 gateways. I don't know. Was the 3rd gas like a fake last time? Well, the point is, it's an all-in. Following an Oracle. Here we go.
Yeah, Zealots and Adepts coming down the middle. I mean, it's just Lings, and sadly, Zealots and Adepts are both quite well suited to deal with Lings.
Yeah, I really hope he doesn't just go for just the depth like he did last time. Well, that's...
Yo, I'm really curious about, what do you think about the effectiveness of Banelings for something like this?
Oh, I don't think they'll work against the Adepts. I think they're too tanky.
They're fairly tanky, but I mean, they are light units. And I think I think a Baneling does more damage than a Zergling ever would in its lifespan.
Well, probably, yes, that's true.
Either way, this is actually not a bad hold to start for Dimaga. I mean, he's got so many Lings to work with, but this is still, it's a moderately small army out of Patience, and as this keeps growing larger and larger through Warpins, he's got a pylon coming down on the high ground, for goodness sake. This is probably going to start snowballing very soon.
More Zealots. I like this mixture of both Adepts and Zealots. The Adepts are tanking a lot more, and they're able to kind of micro a little bit, but the Zealots are just, hopefully they won't just get distracted and run off to nowhere. They're always something you can trust. Trying to get the warp-in Zealots is always good. It's something that I think made sense in the very beginning of StarCraft, that you could get them while warping in, you should do more damage, but it's now in effect in Legacy of the Void.
I like it, personally. I think it's, I don't know, it was like a not necessary change, but a good one. Because it didn't over nerf how warp-ins work, right? Oh, this is cool. Dimaga's got mutas on the way, and there's actually really not any anti-air here. A couple of sentries at most.
Yeah,
nice
the pylons
Zealots.
finish. The pylons have to finish to get him unsupply blocked, funnily enough. But once they are, he can warp in like 6 stalkers and be okay. Looks he's gonna be able to.
I really like the Zealots holding.
Oh no. Did he not see a Spire? Did he not notice it?
He's seen it now for sure. Maybe he's just thinking he's got time on his side, but the mutas do reveal themselves.
One stalker.
I mean, I guess the other thing too is like, forget the stalkers for a second. The Adepts are gonna take forever to kill, even if you do have these mutas on top of them, because it's only 4 or 5 mutas. I pointed out before, Adepts quite tanky, I mean, soaked for quite some time. Sentry's coming in to deal with mutas.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know about that, but it looks like no matter what Patience warps in, excuse me, he has in fact won. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of feeling that like Dimaga is struggling. He comes out as with 4 drones, 5 drones. There's just no way. If there was a counterattack going off and the mutas went across the map immediately and killed all the probes, maybe that's a different story. But I think our Protoss friend here from Dead Pixels is definitely in a prime position to stay ahead. I mean, Dimaga's not leaving. I can kind of understand. It's like game 5, there's some determination, there's some frustration, some FUs kind of thrown in here for sure. But there's no mining really going anywhere. 6 workers is not an economy to work with. Back at home, start a Phoenix, start some Stalkers. I just can't see the mutas equalizing the damage.
Yeah.
And if they leave, it exposes everything.
Yeah, that's true too. He's got to clear up the pylons. It's gonna take a long time with only like 4 or 5 mutas.
Exactly.
Oh god. Now Dimaga is, I think, definitely died. And all Patience has to do really is he could defend to get Phoenixes, and that's fine, but he can also just warp in Stalkers, and that's probably going to be enough. 16 drones were made as opposed to, 30, 32 more lings, but even with those lings, there'd be enough adepts, enough zealots, enough warp-ins, as always, for Patience.
Yeah, adepts trying to make their move. Some split towards the main. There's still a couple here in the natural.
That's a nice move.
Not the natural, probably the third.
Yeah, it's not a killing blow, but it's scouting. Plus, you are getting the drones.
It's a killer blow. Like, I mean, seriously.
Patience, I guess, is just waiting to be on supply block before he moves in.
Yeah, so the adepts are just wasting supply, wasting space, right? No, for real, for Dimaga, like your opponent has no anti-air. You're so close to recovering. You feel. I mean, Patience doesn't really have that many probes. This was something where maybe if he didn't lose as many as he did, like if he had only lost 20 instead of 40, I could see Dimaga coming out of this on top, for sure. But it's not quite the case, and despite having a couple of roaches out, and despite having these mutas, Patience, round 2, ready to come in with some Stalkers this time around.
Yeah, Stalkers are going to end this. I mean, Patience is starting to run out of money in the main, as is Dimaga. So if he could drag it out with like 16 spine colors on the front, in the main base, okay, maybe he does something. Yeah, that sounds legit. But without it, he's not gonna buy enough time to have Patience run out of money. It would take quite a while.
Yeah, Force on the ramp's just mean.
Hey, it's what the Ravager's for.
I mean, technically, yes.
It's the only reason you ever make it.
Well, clearly he wanted to shoot the sentry.
He's really wanted to shoot. Oh, that poor probe! He's like, guys, why are you leaving? Ooh.
Oh, you're like a second ahead. It's like, what happened to the probe? What poor probe? Yeah, this is that desync we're talking about. This is not looking good. I mean, how resilient is Dimaga? He's pulling drones into it. GG's gonna be called. Looks like Patience will take the series 3-2. For someone who started off really bad, really behind, lost game number 1 to Dimaga in a pretty bad fashion, if we're going to be honest. That was a good turnaround by Patience. So nicely done.